Alright, today we're going to be checking out the 2021 Pleasureaway OnTour 2.0. This is on the Ford chassis. It is a regular size van, not expanded. You have the awning on the outside up top here. This is the carefree style awning. To operate this awning, you hit the little gear symbols, and then you have your awning here. You need to make sure that your ignition is to the off position to run the awning. So this one here, you have to hold the extend button for the awning to extend. This takes a little bit to get out, but it'll get there in due time. There we are, they're fully extended. These arms are all the way open as far as they can go. We have our porch light on our lighting page. And then we have our awning light. Our awning light is also dimmable. Also, a key feature with these awnings is these awnings do have a wind sensor. So right now you can see a nice pretty, probably see the storm cloud behind us. If this wind picks up, I'm going to shake this. And it's going to start to retract. That will go all the way closed and it'll be secure. Also on the lighting page here, we have our entry, which is above the bathroom door. We have the porch awning. We have our kitchenette, which is over the kitchen. We have our living room, which is the main area. We have our sofa valance, which is over top of the sofas, and our reading lights, which are close to the back end bed. And then you also have your master on and off, and it remembers the last settings that you have had. That will retain the dim as well. Now also with our lighting pages and everything and our motor page, we have our house page here. This is the main screen you'll normally see when you reset the battery. So this is your disconnect here. Off turns every 12 volt component inside your coach off, as well as most of your 120s. You could have 120 at the outlets when you're plugged in. I'm going to turn that on. It's going to go through its wake up sequence. We'll probably hear the fan do its little choo-choo sound. Doesn't sound like it did. But on this page here we have our entry, our backlight for the screen here. So when it's at night, we can turn that off and on. That can bring us directly to the lighting page as well as we were before. We have our water pump switch next to that with our level sensors. So right now we have 50% full of fresh water in our fresh tank. 0 in the gray, 0 in the black tank. We have 91% in the LP. Now this could vary depending on the temperature outside from 90 to 100 depending on the temperature. It's because there's going to be some expansion in the tank due to the temperature differences. Also we have our thermostat controls here. This does our AC in the vent. Our furnace is on the AWD system, which I'll show you in a minute. Also the Truma system also does the water heater as well. So we can select our temperatures here, see our current temperature, which is 92 degrees, and then we can turn on the AC there. Right now we're charging also. You can see right here, this is our power station. We can see that we're charging 13.7 volts. We have an inverter on this unit as well that makes 123 volts at 60 hertz. We can see that our cooktop and microwave is the inverter loads that are on, so that's our inverter top one here, and the microwave is right here, which I'll show you in a minute. We have auto generator start and the settings for that. You have a little piece there to touch. It's because we're plugged in. This is not. I did an oops there. Yeah, it doesn't want you to use the auto generator start while you're plugged in. It's not healthy for it to run off of the generator and be plugged in at the same time. You can destroy your transfer switch. Now that I've turned on the AC, it's been a few moments there as we're going on. It may take a little bit for the AC to wake up and start operating. Also, we can have our start and stop switch for our generator, and also the hour meter is right above the start stop button here. Then we have our lighting page. We went over that. This is our gear page. Our gear page does our vent fan. You can turn on the fan just by pushing it. Anything on this whole panel, when it's illuminated blue, means that it is on. Gray normally means it's off. This also has our sofa extend and retract, which will bring the bed up and down as needed to make it into a full-size bed. You can also control the speed of your fan here, and when you turn it off, the fan vent stays up. Close the vent, push the little vent down arrow here. Now we have this little guy here. This one gives us our settings. We have Fahrenheit. If you're more to the metric system, you can go to Celsius. You have your screen brightness. You have the coach model, which is a 2.0. You have your screen settings, so you can set up your power savings and stuff like that on here. You have your diagnostics for whatever reason. If something's not working, you can see on the aircon, pneumatic air conditioner, you can see that it is the compressor's on and it's on high fan, illuminated by these green little indicators. You can see everything else is working good. G6, we can see all the lighting pages and things, and any faults if they were to show up. Also, you can change the time if you lost time here as well. And that does this whole panel. Now, at the entry, we also have our fire extinguisher. You want to make sure that this little yellow arrow is in the green. That indicates that this is safe and fully charged and ready to go in a moment's notice. Now I'm going to turn off the AC just so we can probably hear a little bit better. I believe on this here we have our two little clips on either side. Bring that down, zipper it down. This will give you a nice bug guard. Now you don't have to unzipper and re-zipper it every time you want to go in. You can simply pull this little tab. This is a magnetic strip in both sides so that you can easily walk inside. So, and then just help it to recenter itself. And then you can zip this back up. Put it back in. Now if you're on the shorter side, you can also go inside and clip it from the inside as well. Now if we come on inside, we'll check out the interior here. Alright, so up above the entry door, we have our Truma thermostat, we have our Truma operating system, we have our solar controller, and we have our Xantrex power inverter. So for our Truma to create hot water, we'd make sure that we have water in the system. So this fresh tank's at 50%, so what I'm going to do is prime the system by turning on the water pump right there by the main button. And as you can see, it's bringing water through. I'm just running both sides, letting any air that comes through out. I'm also going to do that in the bathroom as well. So we have our toilet. And we have our shower. Now there is no bathroom sink in this model, but for how small this is, I say it's alright just to use the kitchen sink when you come out anyways. Well, in the bathroom here we have this here, which you can bring over. On your inside there's little Velcro tabs that you can stick to it. Make sure that there stays in there. But that'll give you a little elbow room from inside. It's a little tight, but it's normal. Also here, I'm going to steal the camera for a minute. So up top here, you have these push lights as well. And then you have your little tabs here to bring down the privacy window when you're taking a shower. There you are. Privacy window down. Now, these do have the little tabs for the curtain that goes over top of that to stop mildew and water from hitting that as well. You do have a little mirror here on the inside. This carpet here you would remove when you're taking a shower. And you do have a drain in it as well. This is what we consider a wet bath shower. So I'm going to hand that back. Always keep about a quarter tank in the black tank when you are planning to go on long trips and everything, because you don't want your solids to dry out while you're going down the road, because you'll end up with a really bad situation where it's going to cost you a lot of money and time, and it's not going to be fun for me as a technician. Always use RV toilet paper and keep a quarter tank in the black tank. You can do that by simply holding down on the valve itself, allowing the tank to read on there, or just about read. So I'll count at least 30 Mississippi while you're holding the flush valve down. Now that that's all the way down, we're going to go back to this trimless system. So right now, this is the clock time. You can reset that by. So first we push this in like so. Gives you the screen. This is your wherever it's flashing is what's selected. So I'm going to go over to the wrench here. So we're not going to go to the wrench. We're going to go to the clock. The clock's the clock. So it's 6 something, 6:27. Now it's not AM, so let's get that over there. There, 6:27. There we go. Now that's going to be set, so now we have the proper time on the display. So now, right there, that's our heat for the unit. So I'm going to push in on it, and then scroll up, and then I'm going to push that on. You see the flame here? That means that it's fired and running. Now this one here is your water heater. I'm going to push in on that. It says off. I'm going to put that to comfort, and then this is where you can change your temperature for that as well. Now everything runs off of propane gas, so make sure that you have the propane switch on, which I'll show you in a few moments. This here's your fan control, which you have auto and night. Auto is going to run as needed. Night is going to run at a minimum speed so that it's not loud while you're sleeping. And this whole system here really isn't loud at all to begin with. Now this is your solar controller. Right now we don't have good sunlight, but it says right now we're getting 63 amp hours out of it, of sunlight into it. We're at 100% state of charge and 13.6 volts and 0 amps into the battery from there. Now the maximum amps you probably can see anywhere from 5 to 25 amps going into your unit. Below that we have our Xantrex controller here. It says 13.6 volts, which is your battery. Right now it's bulk charging because we're plugged in, so it's bypassing the unit. We're at 10 amps. Come on. There we go. We've got 1.8 amps in with a 0 load. And we're at 120 and 59 hertz, 60 hertz, which is good. And these last three are settings. There we are. Now this is our induction stovetop, which is ran off the Xantrex controller when not plugged in. That's right here. Best thing to do is just go to your pots and pan store, take a magnet with you. As long as it sticks, it's going to work. And just follow the instructions that come with the packet. Below that we have our microwave, which is just our standard microwave. Here we got our controllers. Now I'm just checking this real quick. And there we go, we got hot water. So, now I can put this back. Oh, forgot one thing. On the shower head, you do have that. You got sprayer, and then you can retract it as well. And I always try to give this a little shake to get any excess out first. It's going to drip a little bit. So I'm going to bring this over to here. Try to line it with the hole so at least it has a better route to the hole to drain back in. That's our keys. Our keys have this little push button to use it for ignition. This one here is for our DVD player. This one here is for our Boss soundbar. And this one here is for our LG TV. So we have our LG TV over here. Above that is another control panel. Right here. It does all the same options as the front does. And you must have the side door there closed before extending awning. Rear and sliding doors must be closed when you're running it from here, because they don't want you to bump on anything. So in the compartment above that we have our Blu-ray DVD player, which is run off of this controller here. So this one here runs that. There's a little green button there. We got our TV, which is this one. This TV does move. So this here, try to leave this little strap down. So when you need to, you can pull on it. That allows this to come out, so you can rotate it forward, sideways, or however you need, or all the way in the corner, however you'd like. And then little arm this way, double arm back all the way. Push back until you hear a solid click, and that will put it back in place. And then we have our power for that. So this here is already linked to that. As you can hear, we got louder sound. Now it's a little bit back and forth. I recommend taking your remote and just putting the TV itself to mute, and use the soundbar if you're choosing to use the soundbar.
Did you guys see this in Avengers screening?
To turn it off and on, you can turn it off and on here. I'm going to leave that on mute, and I'll let you choose how you'd like to use it. I'm going to put the remotes above the TV so you can find them. Also, when you're looking for channels, you have your Winegard channels selection here. On the right hand side you have search. You can press search. This will go and find the best direction and channels in your immediate area. Just another compartment. Here's the bag I was looking for. And just another compartment. And just another compartment. So in this bag here, you have your Ford manuals. You have all your Pleasureway stuff. You have your drain elbow. So when you put in your dump station, you can put this on there and put your sewer hose on that, which is stored outside. If your awning motor ever was to fail, you do have a manual awning wand to extend it out. And then this here houses all your TrueMut information, and your generator DVD and manual is in this for the generator. I highly, highly recommend reading every bit of information that you can get. And then this guy right here, this is the cover for that window in the bathroom that I just showed you a little bit ago. And then this one here is with all your Xantrex and your TVs and everything. That's the side. Now on the left-hand driver's side here in the rear, this is where all your 120 breakers are. They're all labeled. It's hot out here, so the labels are starting to peel a little bit, which is normal. Just let it push out the back. There you go. We have some GFIs here, so always check all your GFIs. Make sure they're not tripped. If you do have not power, if you don't, yeah, good English. If you don't have power at certain outlets, definitely check all your GFIs. Make sure that a GFI is not tripped, as multiple of these outlets are linked to some of these GFIs. Then you have your LP and CO2 detector there. We have our table. Our table wraps around to any position that you need it. Now to operate this table, this one's already loose. I can spin that out like so. On this here, you'll notice that it has these style of latches. To loosen, you pull left, that will loosen it. But to tighten it, righty-tighty. And then if you run out of space to move, you can pull out the handle outward and kind of ratchet it. The same goes with this. And to remove this from here, loosen that and lift up. This track here just goes in place of that. Now with all that to the side there, I'll put this on this side. On this side here, underneath this panel, we have all of our 12-volt fuses. These here are fusible breakers, so if they trip, you can just push down the breaker. And we have a ground bar, so you don't have to worry about this. And this is your FEMA control unit, which controls the returning of the awning. And then under the one that's under the TV, we have our water valves for our Chuma Aqua Go and our main breakers, which are in this compartment as well. Right now, all these are in the use mode. Just consult your manual. They're all should be labeled, and you can put them in winterized mode. Also, there is the generator breakers that are in that compartment as well. Put that back. Place this over here. Let me grab the camera off yet. Now at the left-hand side here, we have some USBs right here. And then there's the same set of USBs over here. Also on the floor right here, those are your heated duct vents. You can turn these to change the direction of the flow of the heat. Now on all the blinds, these here are just standard regular blinds. You just pull them down, and they lock in place, and they have magnets to hold them in place. And also, same as that side, the windows, they're scroll out like so, allowing some ventilation through. And then some more blinds, like so. You have your seat belts. You can have 2 passengers in the back and 2 in the front. You have 120 outlets around the locations. They're all through shore power and generator. The only ones that I'm aware of are through for the inverter is the cooktop and the microwave. And there should be some that could be labeled inverter powered, so those ones would be under it. In this compartment here, we have our bed covers. These have little twist logs. So these here go right in the location right here. one. There's two. And then you take these two. One there. One there. And you got this little guy. You can put them there, or you can put them on this side when you close the bed, which I'll show you in a minute. I was just showing it this way so I can demo it to you, because this is a pretty big unit, but it's also a little small at the same time. And you do this from the opposite side as well. You do it from that side instead of this side. So I'm gonna put these back real quick. Also, this is a hanging closet. I can set that on there. Now you can extend, retract from pushing this button here. That's the awning. Here's the sofa. So now I'm going to extend this till flat, like so. And then, of course, make up the little section here. And you have a fairly large bed in this van. Then I can hit retract. And if I want to recline, I can just leave it slightly up to give a nice recline. Now that we have our Dometic fridge, some storage up top. Yeah, Dometic. Yeah, it's not a Dometic. It's the Norcold fridge. This is the newer Norcold fridge that I've seen. You have your fridge and freezer combo. It's not much of a freezer. Maybe good enough for some frozen
Freezy Pops.
I don't know if the Freezy Pops would fit sideways in there. They might be kind of weird looking Freezy Pops.
The little tiny ones.
So we have our off on here. To turn this off, you long hold the power button. This will turn off all illumination on this board, and you'll stop hearing a compressor work. And then you push it again, and then it will turn on, seeing that there's lights. More blue lights up here, the colder it will be. The less cold it will be. I recommend leaving it on 3 for a day. Plug in your unit into the 15 amp or 30 amp, depending on what you have. If you have a 15 amp, don't run the air conditioner. If you have a 30 amp, do what you please. You want to cool down this unit for a day to 2 days fully until it gets the temperature. Now that's for all refrigerators that are in RVs other than household refrigerators. Then we have a night mode. What this night mode does is changes it into a chill box, also changing the compressor, turning it off and on, and stop cycling so much. And then we have some more drawers below the fridge. And then we have our bathroom, where I showed the fan. And then by the front, I have the dinner's done alarm, the fire alarm, right here. And that pretty much covers it. Yep, some more storage in there. And storage down here. Now, I don't recommend putting pots and pans in these drawers, as to they're just slight. They have a little lock where it's a little tight, but not too much. I think that pretty much covers the house section. Now we're going to go on to the chassis section. Alright, so behind our main sliding door, we have our water connection, where we can fill our fresh tank from Gravity if you wanted to throw some gallon jugs of water in it, that sort of thing. Then we have our battery breathers, some 120 outlets, and our exhaust. Back here we have stored, we have a fix-a-flat and air tire filler. This here has the window screens, which are magnetic for the back windows. And also has the front windows ones as well, and side windows. In the very back here, we have, these go up in the bed after you move them. Make sure you don't put them over this rail. They have to go straight through the cushions. So in here we have our lithium batteries. So this is your cover. There you go. You got your 2 batteries there. This here is your solar charger disconnect. So if you want to stop the unit from charging, you can disconnect that there. Place this back. Your doors do have rear speakers, I think. It's possible that they have rear speakers, I can't see. You can unlock these. You bring them all the way around. So if you need want a better view on something, you can. In the back, you do have the same style of screen guard. It's the same as the front. I'm not going to roll this all the way down. It's the same exact thing. I'll just roll it down. So you can stop it here, zip it down halfway. This is your back window blinds. And then you have your side window blinds and front window blinds in here. I stand corrected. And then if you need to, you can still do pass-throughs. And then you can open up this vent here from the inside, which can give you a whole view of the whole back window here. And then you also have this style blind all the way back here for when you're in bed, and you have that up. This one's equipped with a rear backup camera. On the driver's side here, we have our Truma AquaGo water heater. You need to have this on to allow the controller to operate, and that's on the inside, which I showed you. This here's where your filter is. Don't open this if you're hooked to water or have water pressure in there. Make sure you drain the water pressure first and have this to the off position to remove this water filter. This is your Truma furnace. This is your intake, and this is your exhaust. This is where your LP disconnect is. Turn it off, turns off all propane to the interior. Turn it on, turns on the propane so you can use it for your furnace and your water heater. You have an outside shower here. You have your cable hookup here. And then for city water, you hook up to this hose connection right here. That will give you all the water into your faucets and your shower and toilet. And then we have an outside shower. This outside shower has a hot and cold as well. So we have hot on the left, cold on the right, and you do have enough to brush off yourself or take an outside shower if you've gone surfing. And that's all underneath the CH751 key for this. This one here just has a little turn. You have your 30 amp short power connection here. This short power connection has a red light indicating that it has power to the coat in the cord right there. Now these do have an L on it, and they're kind of a funky connection. So all you have to do is match them up. So you match up the L to the other one, push it in, turn it to the right slightly, and then you can lock this in on place. Now on the underneath side here, we have our push locks, and we have a little holder which will hold this door open. We have our dump valve hose right here. And then right here we have our sewer connection It's going to have a little water in it because they were left open. So what you do is you go ahead and hook this to it, like so. You can turn this down a little bit if you need to, give more gravity. Put this in your dump station. You go ahead and pull the black. That'll allow all the black water from the toilet to come out. After you get that done, close the black valve, and then you can open up the gray, which will allow all the sink water and shower water to come out. And then after that's done, you can close that. This also has a second one, so if you need more length, you have enough hose for that. And that's done. Unclip this here. So go ahead, drain out the rest of the water out of the hose. And I'm going to go ahead and push this back in place. After that's done, I got this cap. I'm going to put the cap back on. Make sure I lift up on that, keeping that out of the way. And I'm going to go ahead and close the latches to lock it back in place. Then, right here we open up the door to get to our gas. Our gas is right here. It's an easy fill. All you got to do is put your connection into it, and it'll go. Has no cap. And then I'll show you the whole chassis. The hood latch is right here underneath this cup holder. Starting to rain, so I'm going to be a little bit quicker. I have our hood latch. So we have our antifreeze here. Window washer fluid, air filter. To the right, we have our oil fill, oil dipstick, our brake fluid or coolant. This cap here is where the positive lead is. So if we need to do a jump start, we can, like so. And our negative lead would be, I'd consult the manual for that because I don't see one on this then. But that's your positive lead there. And this is a turbocharged, looks like it's a turbocharged gasoline motor. It's a little bit new, so I'm not 100% familiar with the motor, but I know it's a good motor. It gets up in boogies. And then I'll show you the inside of the chassis. Alright, so for our chassis here, we have our key. Our key goes in our ignition and turns it on. We have our steering wheel controls and our horn. We have our parking signals here. The type of drive mode we want, eco, if it's slippery out, mud and ruts, and then tow haul, and then normal. This one here, I believe, does the wheel spin here. And this is our park assist. Got our left and the right turn signals. We have our window wipers. You go up for high speed, down for little spits of rain. You have your adjustments here on it for how much rain, for time delay. We pull back for washers. On the left hand side, in the end, we have lane assist for off and on. We have, I need the lights on, that's why. Push forward for high beams. Pull back to flash high beams. Our lights are on the left hand side here of the steering wheel. I'm not sure if she can get it that well. You got it? There we go. I'll grab that off, yeah? So we got our lights here, so all the way off. Marker lights, headlights, and then auto. Over here we have our fog lights. We have our mirrors. If you push this down, it's going to fold in the mirrors. So if you're in the city, and then you can push them down again to fold them out. And then you can spin this left or right. So left does the adjustment for left side. Right does the adjustment for the right side. Above that we got a cup holder. It's a new spot for it this year. Then we have our brightness for our dash. We have our door locks. We have our windows here. I'm not going to put them down because it's starting to rain. We're going to find out about this radio system. This is a little bit new to me, but before we do that, I'll do something I do know. So hit the brake to put it in drive, and then you do have gear selection here to do manual mode. Reverse gives you your backup camera. And you got neutral, regular drive, and then all the way down does manual. Alright, so let's find out a little bit about this dash. So we have our volume here on the right hand side. So it is a touch screen. This one here you do have Sirius. You have Wi-Fi settings. You have AM, FM, Bluetooth, AM, FM. Then we have our phone here. You can add your phone by pushing add phone.
Search for your vehicle on your device and select it once it is found.
You guys do what it says. It's pretty high tech there. We have our nav. So you double pinch out to pinch out, double pinch in for in, and you can move around with your finger. Push at the center again. You do have out here, which bring you all the way out. You have your north, your 3D, and regular north. We have our menu here, so we can look at the traffic list. Where am I? Where am I? There we are. That's where we are. Points of interest are like your travel stuff. So like if you needed fuel, you can find fuel. You'll find it in the area that you are nearby. Oh, we got a rainbow today.
I got it on video.
Shows you all that there. Now we have apps for your Sirius XM links. And you can find other stuff. Right now it's not there because it's not connected to your phone. You have your settings for your sound clock, Bluetooth, navigation, 911 assist. And then you have your general automatic updates, Ford Pass Connect, valet mode, voice control, display in vehicle, the Wi-Fi is like that. Oh, you can do something like this. That's new. So you can have your Sirius XM with the GPS, and you can have your phone on there as well. Yep, this one here gets rid of everything. It just gives you your time. And then you can get rid of it again for your screen. Push again for the regular screen. So you got your, this one here does your sound settings. You have previous and next, and then you have play and pause if you're playing a mode. You can turn it off here, they'll turn off the volume. This one here doesn't click, but you can scroll left and right. You have your fan speed for your dash. You can choose where you want your fan, even the defrosters, off and on. You got your rear here, and your recirc. When you do max AC, I think. To do max AC, you scroll to the left, and then you hold this, like so. Or max defrost. take care of it there. You have your 4 ways down here. This here's your USB connection. This USB connection connects to the head unit as well. So if you have a Apple CarPlay or the Android Play thing, you can do that through here. You do have a 12-volt outlet, which is the standard 12-volt outlet. This here is your auto start. So if I drove and then stopped somewhere, while I'm stopped, it will shut off the engine, but not like the interior stuff. And once you release your foot on it, it will start it automatically to save you some more gas mileage. On here, we have our cruise control right here. We have our set by pushing up, set down, or resume is in. Your limit switch here for that. I don't know what that one does. It says can. That one's not doing nothing. You have your volume here and your mute. You use this here to scroll through your navigation pieces. Down here, you can do your Sirius XM, your phone, all your settings. You can do all your displays and everything down here. But this is a little new for me, so I'd definitely read the manual, but I'd say play with it a little bit until you get a good feeling of how you like your settings. You do have a glove compartment down here. On the side of the glove compartment, you do have a front license plate holder. You have a coin holder and a pen holder. This one doesn't have that little pocket there. And you do have multiple cup holders, leather seats with armrests, emergency brakes in the center. You do have a seat adjustment right here. You can adjust your seat. You can adjust your back rest. And then you have your, this is your backrest. Is this one back here. This one here pumps up the seat or pushes down the seat. And then you have your standard old school style pull to bring it forward and backwards. And I think, we got our, so when you push this in the center like so, when it's flush, it's going to operate when you open up the door. Push it all the way to the right, it's on. Push all the way to the left, it's off. And then you have your map lights. These ones don't have mirrors. You have your overhead spot. Don't put up heavy stuff here, so if you really smack the gas, it doesn't fall on you. You have some pockets here as well. I think that does pretty much everything in this whole coach now. Yep. I can't think of anything else.